I am excited, people. I'm very excited. It is October the 23rd, 2025, and I'm excited to be around because I'm on with you. I'm on with you. And because I'm on with you, great things are about to happen. Just got off the prayer call not too long ago. Great message from Bishop, the late apostle, Bishop Eddie L. Long. I want to think on the positive side. I want to keep that going. Because it's very easy to fall into the negative, people. It's very easy to fall into the negative and hard to get out from it. But I want to say grand risings. Good morning to everybody. I want to say good morning to all. Good morning to Deborah Sloan with an E and Hardy with a Y, Betty Smith, Bertha Sessions, Beth Daniels. I think I saw Seth Crosby on. Greats is on here this morning. Good morning to, whoa, I got to get these names together here. All right. Leah Lead. Oh, got it. Evelyn Dingles, Chapman, Aljetta Broughton. We read your testimony this morning. And all of those on Facebook and YouTube. Just saying grand risings, good morning. And then thanking all of you who may have been on with us who could last night for the Victory Home Bible study with Dr. Jazz and Dr. D, and he was pretty good. He was a very good host, and thanking all of them for allowing me to be a part of their Bible study live on last night. So I would just want to say it was been a good day. It's been a long run because I've been up early in the morning and had to keep going straight through. And I was up early this morning praying through to get through. Got some things got to work on. Got some people I've been praying for. They got court dates and they got to go to the doctors. And some got to make it through these weeks because we're going to call their names out. I'm just believing God to do what he said he's going to do. Praying, praying, praying. And I want you to know I pray for you. I do. There's been a lot of prayer going on. But let's go on and finish up where we started at. I want to make sure I get that going. All right, there it is. Sharon Fred. Oh, T. Bountiful, Salt Lake City, Utah. Betty Carter, when you come on, let me just do this for Auntie. Auntie. All right, I got that in. Somebody had nerve to tell me they hate to see me just clank on anything. Tough. I'm going to do it because I enjoy it. To all of you, I'm going to refer back to, I keep talking about that Shift conference because it was magnificent. It was an awesome move of God. And it started a lot of things rolling, especially in my own life. I'm glad I finished my assignment. Ooh, oh, that was something. But it talked about a lot of things. It helped me to move into the things that God was speaking to me about because when we were on prayer, we went to prayer on the Mount. We knew that we had been circling things long enough. We had to break that, had to move into something else. Then as the mantles began to fall, here we are in October, July, August, September, October, 4 months later, and he puts another mantle at my feet. I had to write down some things, thanking God for the people, prayer partners, that people would say, hey, you got to do what God has called you to do. You can't play with this. You got to get on with it. Plus, the message has been on my case. Your failure with your yes is for someone else. Your failure to be obedient and say yes is your failure for someone to be able to walk in their breakthrough. Now, I want you to know right now, I didn't like that at all. Just didn't like it. So I don't want that kind of blood on my hand. And I don't think people understand what it is to carry the blood on your hand. I'm not going to go into that because that'll make me cry the whole time. So I want to talk about that. We picked up on yesterday, the ground is waiting. I talked about that yesterday in a Bible study on two, but the ground is waiting. So you need to surge into what God has already gave you. Ooh, I got to stay calm. You got to get ready for it. I want you to start sharing this page with people right now because they're going to need this. We're in 5786 of this Jewish calendar, and you got to get ready for what God has for you. We're getting ready for Elevation 2.0 or 2.0, however you want to say it. I don't know what's going to happen. I know that God's getting ready to do something. I just know it. I feel it in my bones. And whatever that is, we got to be prepared for it, those of us going to make it. We also know that there's a lot of shifting that's happening in our natural world, within the government, and the systems. Things are happening, but God is still moving at the same time. I feel the anointing of God. If someone doesn't mind, start putting praises and hitting your hashtags. There's something that God is doing. And Lorraine Adams, thank you. I got your message. Thank you. Woo! And so one of the things that has made the difference, every step is a scroll. And I need to say that you've been stuck in the hallways. I'm just going to break it down like that for you. You've been stuck in the hallways between what God said and what you've seen. I thank God for Sonia Crumpler, but I got to do this because I know she can't stand the bell. But you've been stuck in the hallways. This is for some pastors and some leaders, between what God said and what you have seen. You've been praying for open doors, but the ground is already unlocked. You're praying for an open door, but the ground is already unlocked. And God is not waiting to give it, he's already gave it. And I think I'm trying to keep myself, because literally I probably would fall into this camera, and I can't do that. And this is also a lesson for those of you that are just so drunk, you can't give a word. You got to go all over the world in order to give the word. Sit up. You see what I'm doing? I may let you know what I'm feeling, and I have to recenter myself. Do that. But you, oh my, they got this. Because we save ourselves some of the dramatics. Sometime when the Lord is moving, you just have to center yourself. All right. So that was good, wasn't it, Daniels? Where are my pastors at that would back me up on this? They don't never come out to help me. Ooh, that was good. Good morning, Prophetess Green. Ooh, stop the madness. You got it. Okay. I have to do this and research, get myself settled. So you've been praying for the open doors, and I got to say it again, but the ground is already unlocked. God is not waiting to give it to you. He already gave it to you. He's waiting for your feet. And he's waiting for your feet, and your steps is the yes. Your movement is the message, people. And this 5786 is not asking for perfection, it's asking for your participation. So step, because the ground is waiting. Now, when I really get into this whole breaking down of what Joshua really meant, Joshua 1 through 3, and even deeper, you'll be surprised to know what God is really saying to Joshua. But every place the soles of your feet tread, I've already given you. Joshua 1 and 3. And so we have to understand, wherever the soles of your feet is treading, God has already given you. The ground is prophetic. Let's look at that. You don't need another confirmation. You need a step. Ooh. Joshua didn't wait for comfort. He walked into promise. It was already spoken through Moses. Okay, so he walked into promise, and the ground responded to obedience and not convenience. So he wasn't waiting for comfort. He walked into the promise. But when he walked into the promise and his foot went down into the promised land, the ground responded to his obedience and not convenience. He walked into the promise, and the ground had to yield to the promise of the soles of his feet. It was promised. The prophetic word was already spoken over it. It was yielding to his yes and activation of his steps. Now, I need to pause there and say, if there's anyone that caught that little nugget right there, you need to put in a 56. The grace of God, the humanity of God in this, and his humanity, care for humanity, that the God of the 11th hour, when some folk would doubt, you took the risk, as we would say, to hold on to what God has spoken and stepped in faith, and the ground had to yield. But when you moved, the God of the 11th hour moved ahead of you. My God. That's power. And so therefore, the ground responds to your obedience. The ground responds to your obedience. That job interview is your ground. That hard conversation is the ground. Oh, you thought I didn't have something for you? I got it. The dream you've been sitting on is the ground. Did I just help somebody? If I helped you right there, put a number 2 in because I'm about to be in agreement. Glory to God. Where have you been circling instead of stepping? What have you been circling instead of stepping into what God has spoken? Uh, I need to just slow right here, slow my roll. Because you don't just walk into places, you shift them. Your presence carries prophetic weight. Many times we don't recognize it. Like some of you are getting ready for your holidays, your Thanksgiving time, Christmas, you're going to go away. But the moment you show up, prophetically, you carry a prophetic weight. That's why when I visit different people's homes, even when it comes to my family, it could be my sisters, and I know they got people coming over. I will go and I'll stay for a few minutes. And I know when I come in, they'll be like, oh God. I thank God for my one sister. She cracked me up. I will never forget going to her house, and all I saw was different things rolling down the alleyway, that side of the driveway, and beer just rolling down. And she told me, my brother here, he the preacher, put that down, put that down. And people was hiding stuff. And when I came in there and I started speaking, I said, how you doing? And because she had already told me, he see things. He got something about that gift. He got he got a gift. Oh my God, he can see things and don't talk. Just and so when I came in, I sat for maybe if it was 20 minutes, I just wanted to let her know I loved her and I wanted to let her know I was gonna come out. Because she said I had never gone to something that she had. This was many, 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 many years ago. And and so I went. And so afterward, as I came out, I shared something with about 2 or 3 people. I said, but I'm gonna keep praying for you. But look, I'm gonna do you all a favor. I'm gonna leave. My presence, the weight of my presence had a prophetic weight on it, but it shifted as I got into that backyard. And I didn't stay to provoke them. I left, and they were like, they took sighs of relief. I want you to know they were like, woo, woo. I didn't go in there to mess up anything. Thank God for the reverence that they had. Thank God for that. But what was really there was the anointing. It was a prophetic weight that I carried that shifted the atmosphere. I knew I didn't need to be there long. I didn't try to stay there long. I didn't try to stay there and make them uncomfortable. And I knew I didn't have to be there for a long time. That was so funny for me. I love my sister. When I left, I'm going down there. They're going, oh, okay, what do we need to do? Did he get to the car yet? She said, wait till he pull off because, he may see something. Because he can feel. So I'm saying that to you that so when you go into places, uh, you carry prophetic weight. Okay. Every room you enter is a chance to release what's burning in you. The word of God, that dream, that prayer. That's why you walk into places that they become your surge zone. I'm already blessed. I'm going to give you a chance to say something in 1 second. So here it is. Uh, your kitchen can be your scroll zone. Your Instagram post can be your scroll zone. Your classroom, your cubicle, your car can be your scroll zone, people, where you put a message out. You got a message. You got to ask yourself, where have I been dimming the light? Where have I been dimming my light at? I just had to say that to you. I had to get that in. Somebody said, get it in, get it in, get it in. You got to know how to say that 5687, 5786, I keep doing that, is waiting for listen, is waiting for your resume. Yeah, it's waiting for your yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's also waiting for you to resume and take back where you pick up where you left off at. Uh, the scroll is burning, the mantle is falling, the light is rising, and the ground is waiting. So step, surge, and shift. I kept going, when I kept seeing that part about the surge, I said, let me give people what a surge really is. If you don't mind, I want to take time to do that for a minute. What defines a surge zone? Okay. What defines a surge zone? Now, I want you to take this time. I want you to hit that thumbs up button right around now, that thumb up button. All of you do that right here. And then where you can share this page, share it. Come on, Facebook. I know you all can do it. And I know you can do it on YouTube because I've seen y'all hit that number and go up. There's some oil on your life. And we can do this in our everyday lives. And I keep seeing it happen. And as I'm talking to people, I can see it birthing in their lives. I can see the transitioning and the transformation that is taking place in them because they're actually applying it. They're not acting as they used to act. They're separating themselves from the noise. Now, some have removed themselves from the chickens. They got to get away from the ducks. Okay, because they think because the ducks flap and they can fly a little bit, they say, "Oh, I'm good. I'm a good company." At least they're going up. No, no, no. Got the wrong group. They're going quack quack. You got to get with the eagles. Don't be fooled. Just because they're flying, don't mean they're that eagle. Yeah. So you got to hit that like and then share it. And that's what we got to do. I need for you to do that. So what defines a surge zone? And it's where the scroll speaks. I got to get that assignment speaks. A surge zone is where your message burns the loudest. Ooh. The prayer leader of our prayer team makes me know when something is speaking the loudest. And for prayer, there's no let up. It's like a hammer hitting the nail, literally. And got to get this thing going because this prayer is very important, 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 important. And I go, okay, okay. So I had to work on something immediately for this week. So a surge zone is where your message burns the loudest. It's the place your voice carries weight and your obedience unlocks movement. That's why when I'm talking to people, I'm saying, are you paying attention to what you're doing? Are you really paying attention to what God is saying to you? Are you allowing everything to get in your ears that you lose focus on what God is doing ministry wise? Are you allowing the enemy, to cut you and make you look short sighted at something? Because others don't see as far as you? They have not lifted off the ground and you're starting to soar. And because you're soaring, you can't see that you've lifted up and there's some things that are really happening. And because it's happening, folk are trying to weigh your wings down. I don't care if it's in your family. Ezekiel 3, verse 3 said, I ate the scroll. Okay. It's where your feet is where your feet matters. That's what I'm trying to say. Surges, surge zones are not random. They're revealed. Okay, they're revealed. They're not random. Every step you take is a zone prophetically. So it's a prophetic zone. So it's where your feet matters. It's where your feet matters. Ooh, ooh. Every step you take, it's where your feet matter. It's where the feet land, the sole of your feet. Oh, I can't help that. That's something so powerful right now because we don't understand how prophetic the movement in us really is. So we allow things to get in our brain and throw us totally off. And I want to say something, and I have no problem with this. Sometimes we can allow everybody to throw us off. The dog, the cat, the bird, the fish. They will become the distraction. Oh, I remember as I was doing some things, listen to this. I was I had just started out doing the breakfast and it was very good. The breakfast was lifting up and it was starting to surge in what God had given me. And I had met several pastors. They were like, "Oh my God, you're doing a wonderful job." And I won't go into the two that I met that was the most significant, um, because they would talk to me all the time, and I know this is not happening, and oh, you need to do this, and they would say things that were really good and very challenging because they would challenge me in ways sometimes I could not answer because they seemed everything they were saying was basically right, but not timely. Did you hear that? Basically right, but not timely. And so what does that mean? Is that I was in a good place because that's where I was surging from. That was my landing pad. And that was where the opening was. So I could continue to surge because when I was supposed to do something, I had a good landing pad to come back to. And so they will always say things, and I would say, okay. And then they would say, well, in order for this next step to happen, you need to be over here with us. And I would go, okay. So God can't, you need to be over here with us. If you were over here with us, you would be able to do this, that, and the other. But before I got there, and before they saw what I was doing, they'd only heard about it. And I had met them before, I was totally ignored. They said, "Oh, it's good to meet you," and I would say, "Okay, thank you." I wasn't looking for their okays and stuff, but it was okay. But when they actually came to it and witnessed it, oh, you need to be here with us. And so sometimes it became very confusing because now I was at the top of the list. But I had to make up my mind was I need to go with them because they were offering some good things. And when I say offering, meaning the foundational stuff they were telling me and all the things that sounded very good. It had clarity with it. And they challenged me. And oh my God, it almost made me feel bad for where I was at. But I had to remember what was God doing with me? How did I get to where I had arrived to? What was the door and the ground set up for me to do? And it was there, not that I had to stay there, but it was because I was there and the avenue came because of that. And there was something that God had for me that they could not open up to me. And had I went to them, I would have lost short. I would have fell short of everything I needed to accomplish because they did not have that avenue that I needed. Now, I wasn't looking for the avenue. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I wasn't looking for all of that. What they presented was what it seemed like I was looking for. But what I had needed was already before me. But because I was so busy producing, because I love ministry, I missed almost that this is what God had opened because of my sincerity and being in place. I encourage you all. You have to know what God is saying to you and understand your zone. So when you're surging from the zone to do what you need to do, you can come back to your landing place until God does otherwise. Oh, that was good. High five yourself, Pearman. Okay. That's reality. It's where atmospheres shift. That's it. Oh gosh. Surge zones are charged with divine potential. Okay? Where you step in, things break, build, and are birthed. Some of us, God always has used us to step in and build, uh, destroy things and build them and birth them. But most of us are never around because we are never complete the building. We never complete the building process. We get halfway through and get discouraged. Halfway through, let other voices come in our ear. Halfway through, allow ourselves to slide away because of discouragement and all of those things. We never complete the project that God has us in. That zone that He put us in, that surge zone we were in, we allow it to be taken from us. And at the end of the day, it is not anybody else's fault but ours. Because when we look back over some things, we knew that the Lord really spoke to us and said, don't move. I'm not talking about where I'm just saying, don't move from your assignment. Continue to work it. Don't stop working on this book. Continue to work. Don't stop uh, pressing forward. Continue to press. Don't stop encouraging that person. Continue to encourage them. You ever had that to happen? And you stop because something was said that discouraged you. Listen, it's not going to be the first time you're going to be discouraged or the last. That's why when I hear people say about ministry, I've been in ministry all these years, and I say, and the church still ain't changed, right? Same people did it when your mama was alive, your grandmama was alive, your grandmama been dead how many years, and the church is still carrying on. And it, there you go. That ain't how the church's supposed to be. The church, I said, and Jesus been saying that for how, and he been gone over 2,000 years. Don't play that. Listen, what my somebody said to me, I can't do it now. I said, stop using the word church game. Just say don't be playing games. I always break it down. Games in life are games in life, but church games are the worst because people use church games when it's really just a game, period. You're right. But church games, because and the church hurt. Listen, you've been hurt since you've been born. So you got to understand that when you're in the zone that God calls you in, it shifts atmospheres. And when you shift those atmospheres, of course, folk are going to come up against you. Of course, folk are going to look at you like you're crazy. And when folk are used to having control over your life, and you're finally starting to gain some control over your own life through the Lord, so you can work in what God has given you to do, step into what God has given you to do, destroy the works of the adversary, build what God gives you to build, and birth the things that God has given you to birth. Don't you know people get upset because they don't have control? They can't cry and you fall out and go, okay, let me come see what you're doing. They can't just do things and get your attention anymore because you already see through it. Oh, Lord, help me in here today. I'll leave that alone. Isaiah said, arise, shine, for your light has come. Isaiah 60, verse 1. Let me get a type of zone, these zones that we have. Our home is a zone, a surge zone. Home, a family, an altar, a healing space, or a prayer room. It starts a rhythm. You can start a rhythm of release there if it's allowed in the home. Sometimes it's a fight because they don't want that. They want it their way. So you have to find that spot, that sweet spot in your house where it's just you and God and work from there. The healing space where I just go and I have to say, this is my place, Lord, you got to heal me right here. My prayer room where I can lock myself in. Nobody can come in and bother me. The house is full of hell. Children is off the chain. Look, I done been in all kinds of houses like that. I done had did that. All right. But hey, okay, I gotta fix something one day about this. And so the workplace, okay, the workplace is another zone. All right, a place of influence, justice, or restoration. That workplace is your zone. I'm telling you, it's your zone. All right, you speak scrolls, assignments, prayer, prophetic words into Jesus. We'll work with us, people. Just keep coming on. Stay with us. A community, a neighborhood, school, or a city. Build a legacy in forgotten places. That's what we do. Okay. Digital, that's a zone. The digital place, a church gathering or mission field, multiply mantles and movement. That's how I'm talking about. So you can identify. This time, I'm just saying I don't know here, but uh, you got to ask yourself, where do I feel the ache to build? Where does my scroll burn the loudest? And where is the ground groaning for my obedience? That first word is obedience. Obedience. You got to be able to say, I am going to be obedient to what the Lord has given me. That's very important. Oh God, I just got to stay calm right here because I feel something happening. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So when we do this, it takes us into a whole different panel of things, people. It really does. It's like, come on. So when we talk about the ground is waiting and the surge is now, I'm always encouraging people because it's rough. It's rough on a woman who works all day, come home, the kids can be all unruly. The husband is like, hey, I don't have nothing to do, doesn't help out. It can be rough for a man that the wife is working, the man is working, they come home, kids is out of control. He's like all upset because he can't really do anything because they just go off out of and then he got to try to figure it all out. She trying to figure it all out. When he come home, she just blacks out. She's like, "Hey, I can't do nothing. It's on you now." And he got to come in and figure out what he's going to do. It's to have to ask God. We're in this zone together. God, help us to be able to do what's right. But I found that in relationships, Lord, help us today. It's not only a give and take and a prayer life you must have indeed, it is one that has you got to really pray about. You got to really do some work on because people come with a lot of baggage, and that baggage comes from both sides. And if you have not unloaded that baggage and you bring it into that relationship, and you're married and you still haven't dealt with it, it goes on for years and years and years and years. And you will recognize it when you get ready to go in to do the things of God that you plan to do, because it will come up every time there's a move to be made. If, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The same thing happens in relationship with friends. The same thing happens with relationship within the family dynamics. It happens. Oh God, oh God, oh God. I'm telling you, I'm just sometimes I'm barbecued. I felt like I've been stuck while I'm on a rotisserie. It happens. But when your surges now, you weren't built to blend in. See, some of you don't want to take the responsibility that comes with what God is speaking. So you'll duck out, but you'll have a lot to say. You'll talk about everything that needs to be done. Why isn't it being done? I'm not speaking about just church, in everything in life. The job, the family, the community. But when it comes to taking on that, you shouldn't just blend in with all the questions of everybody. You should be the solution. You cannot. You're like a whistle. He said you weren't built to blend in. You weren't built to break through. Did you hear that? You weren't built to break through. You were to take the scroll that's been burning in your bones and turn it into a movement that sets others free. That's it. That's what we're supposed to do. And you're on this broadcast right now. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're called to do. Whatever that is, you're called to do it. God, I got to lift my hands. But we fail to do it. But we can talk about it. We talk with our friends. We get on that phone. We wear it out. We text about it. We do all of those things. But we will not allow God to allow what's been burning in our bones to be able to utilize it correctly and learn how to use it that will set others free. Because when you start talking about setting others free, that means your language change, your conversation change. And when that all begins to change, the people that you once stood with in the same conversation, now you're on the opposite side of them. And ooh, you're afraid of what they're going to say that you said. Stop your madness. Don't worry about it. Go forward. Because there's a change that's taking place in your life and you're awakening to what God is truly doing in your life. And if they can say, well, you was right here talking like I was talking, and you can say, yes, own it. But I know now that I was wrong. And you probably knew it when you were talking. But okay, I need to take my rightful place in the kingdom. You don't down them. You say, I need to take my rightful place. All right, let me get this finished right here. And so, as we know, 5786 isn't a year to play it safe. And that's what you all try to do. You try to play it safe. Some of you try to be in the middle of the road. Well, they might be right. Well, they might be right. I'll just stand right. No. I'm going to flow in what God has given me to do. Period. In the discussion, that's all. And it takes a lot of pushing yourself to do it. And a lot of times, it's got to take a lot of times speaking to someone that understands. And you can't always speak to people that are biased because they may be mad because you're not doing what they want you to do. So when you go to tell them you have a problem, you got to talk to someone that says, well, okay, that may be the problem, but did you look at what God is really saying to you? Is that what God is saying? Now, you may be upset about this, or you don't want to do that, or you have to turn to the left, but what is God saying after all that is lifted? Because truly, it comes around again. Instead of talking to someone and say, yeah, I told you. That's what I was saying. Yeah, no, because I can't be around those because they will make me miss God. If I don't have anybody that's ever been through that, put a number 5 up. That is the grace of God that you didn't fall into the pit that was set up for you. Because all they were doing was looking for you to say something so they could jump on the bandwagon, get you to jump on their bandwagon, and the both of y'all could be going out there having a good time, even though they already know they should have been in a different place with God also, but they held on to it too long. That's why I put my 5 in. That's right, Beth Daniels. Don't let them make you miss God. And so it's not a year to play it safe. It's a year to surge. It's the year to walk with purpose. It's a year to build with boldness because the surge is now, right? The vision. So he that runs can read it. Romans 8:19, the creation waits for the sons and daughters to show up. To show up. And we're not showing up. That's not what we're doing. And so the surge is a sudden, powerful forward movement. There was a surge in me on Sunday when the men were singing, they were singing, This Means War. And they had three parts that I could remember. It was Ruben sang one part. I was like, okay. And then I heard this squall come out. That was from Ed. He said, This Means War. And then Matthew, he sang another part, You Can't Have My Family. And they all came through very strongly. But it put a surge in us and made us stand up. And it caused us, it was powerful, and it caused a movement because they were stepping into, oh God, a zone. And they utilized that zone good. They did. I can't help it. I got to tell it. They used it good. So it's a sudden, powerful forward movement. It's when you stop waiting and start walking. Yeah, it's when the scroll becomes a strategy. And even when you're doing it, the enemy is always doing something. So that blog you haven't written is a surge. That ministry idea you've shelved is a surge. That healing conversation you've avoided is a surge. So what does it mean when you say the surge zone and the scroll carriers? The surge, listen, surge into broken places with healing. Surge into forgotten spaces with legacy. Surge into resistant territories with obedience, because it's got to yield itself to you. Okay? I got to make that clear. I don't want you to miss none of this. Now, when God has done it, your living room can be your surge zone. Your voice memo can be your surge zone. Your story can be someone else's breakthrough. I remember this because it's so powerful. So when we were in church one night, I forgot, it was a weeknight. We were having a service, and I came in. I kept singing this song over and over again, and it was a worship song. And I came in. They were working on the organ. I think it was Eric's had a cousin that came, and he was on the keyboard. Ed was trying to fix some things up, and I just kept singing this song over and over again. I wouldn't stop until we got it together. And we all put this song together. It was a worship song. And that song still stays with me. I just can't get it together. I'm going to get it back. And so it was a very powerful worship song God had given me on my way to church. And I held on to it. And what I should have done was recorded it myself. That was the first mistake. But the surge zone was there while we were in service. And while we were in service, people were listening. Some were acting like they weren't paying no attention to it. But I never stopped pushing it, speaking it, stepping into it. That was a worship song. And I said, oh, I got to record it. Somebody did record it. I said, I'll get it to you. I never got it. But that song, I got it coming in. I wouldn't let it go. I wouldn't let it go. I wouldn't let it go. It was a surge. I stepped into that zone. And when I stepped into that zone, although many people act like they weren't listening, they were. And let me tell you, the enemy was showing up right and left. I moved through every attitude. I moved through everything that was looking like it wasn't going to shift because I knew I was in the zone and I had to keep going. Because if you don't, it'll mess you up. So you got to know that you got to speak that when you're in that zone, even when it's in a quiet time, in a quiet place, you got to know that you're going to cause it to multiply. You're not just a carrier, a scroll carrier, people. You're not. You're a surge starter. Do you understand that? You're not just a mantle mover. You are a legacy builder. And in 5786, it's not waiting for your hesitation. It's waiting for your obedience. And that's what I wanted to say to you. So I want to complete that today because it meant a lot to me to get this done. It meant a lot to me to move in it. And I pray that you have gotten a lot from it. I pray that as you're listening today, that God really gave you some information that helped you go. There's a surge that God has placed in you to move forward. You're moving forward with your music. You're moving forward with your book. You're moving forward with business plans. You're moving forward in your teaching at your school. You're moving forward while you're praying and building a prayer team. You're moving forward, but then ask God to put the right people around you to give you the right words of wisdom, that understand what it is to go past certain places, not just the norm. Oh, when I ask people about the supernatural ministry and I'll say certain things, they'll say, yeah, I said, well, can I ask you this? Sometimes they don't want to answer. And it's not because I'm trying to see if they're smart enough, because I want to know the depth that they're in. And if I know where they are, I can get them to the next dimension. And then I have to watch that because sometimes people just don't want to go. They can know that God has his hands on their life to get there, but they are afraid of the unknown and where you're going to take them. Oh, God. It is so good when God pulls back the layers. The prophetic layers that God is pulling back for you and for me and for others that are on here. It is so beautiful when God begins to open our eyes. And those eyes being open sometimes don't see everything you want to see that is good. Sometimes you see some things that'll shake your faith. But he says you have the capacity to handle it. And when do we realize that? I want to encourage you as people of God. I need for you to ask God to show you and me how to not allow us to be so petty. Let us be builders of the faith. Yeah. Help us not to wear our feelings on our cuff, but to be strong in the Lord. Help us. I'm saying, I didn't say just you, us, to be strengthened, especially those of us that deal with people. Help us to know how to relate, because some days I am good at it and some days I'm not. But help us. It can't be, this is just who I am. Take it or leave it. It doesn't work. Because sometimes you see that's just where you are. Now you can be who you are and ask God to show you how to make yourself better in your being straightforward, in you being a no-nonsense person, in you saying what you mean and meaning what you're saying. And God has a way of being to come forward and being done the right way that you'll still surge. Help us not to run every time a trial test comes or confrontation get ready to take place. Help us to get past the hurdles of hurt and pain because we were always hiding as children. Because when we were ready to face confrontation, it was taken away from us. And we were put in a corner of fear. Help us. Help us. Yeah. Help us to understand that we have something to offer every one of us. And we don't have to miss our mark. We can land. We can rise up, fly, and come in for a landing. That's what we can do, you and I. And I just need for you to be able to know that and grab a hold to that. Through trials, tests, tribulations, through life, and through death. Because some of you have lost some people in your life, it is shaking you. And although you may not be angry with God, but you could be at a place of not now. That's why I like to talk for real. You're not angry. You're not telling God, I hate you, but you're saying to God, not now. I'm not upset. I don't understand, but I'm just saying not now. And he hears you. But all I ask you to do is, as he's heard you, take in what's being said, so that as you move through this process, he can still keep you. And when the time comes, you're open to receive from him. And as you heal, because there is a healing in the process, he does dry your tears. The pain doesn't always leave, but he knows how to take it and dull it enough that you're able to live again. That you'll rise to do the things that God has called you into. And who knows, your surge may come that through the death of that loved one, there may be the cause that God may make you stand and surge through. May it be cancer. May it be through some suicide mission that you say, I'm going to be an advocate for those who have to deal with suicide. Some type of addiction, I'll be an advocate for that. And that may start your journey in your surge zone. But whatever it is, God will turn that thing around and make it something that you will have a passion and a burden for and a burning desire to stand to help others. That your tears are not in vain. And nor would be the life of that individual. Oh, God, I thank you. Whether you're dealing with someone that has dealt with dementia, Alzheimer's, an advocate of self-awareness. I'm talking right today. Caregiving of any type. So those are zones, people. I always like to talk to those real musicians who have really know what it is to go through and have to recenter themselves. They have been through something and they now know what it is to recenter themselves and say, when you're on the journey, stand still. Yeah. To pastors, it's know how to say when you're on the journey, stand still. Warriors to say when you're on the journey, stand still. Because those are your surge zones. That one has worked in the office administrative wise, and now they may be retired, but now they can utilize that as a zone that God may give them to speak about. I know God is speaking even right now. There's a lady in my church, she would say she suffered from alopecia. There's a ministry for people with alopecia. Just to teach them how to get up in the morning and smile every day. That's ministry. That's a zone. So don't mess with me. I get started with stuff like this and it just flows. But we have to get past ourselves. All of us have to get past ourselves. So I thank you. I really do thank you. And I pray that you have been totally blessed by this, and that you would sow into this ministry today, and let it become a part of your life each and every day as you have, but even share with someone else that they can grow from it also. And those of you that may not be able to give, okay, but encourage somebody to give and support us. Today is that day. I'm going to say everyone, whoever everyone is on this broadcast, everyone. So I want to know that everybody on here is sowing today. Everybody. Everybody. Everyone should sow. You'll see the ways that you can sow on here and sow. I should not even have to, when I get off, go, oh, wow, only a certain number came. It should be over and above. Why? Because there's been an over and above abundance of word, teaching, prayer, confirmation given to you all, that you can live and not die, that you may understand you have an assignment. Even my hidden friends, those who never let me know you're on, you don't never let me know you're on. You just get on here and you take the stuff I give and you preach it. So, you think I don't know? Oh, come on. So, everybody, everyone, we're doing a great work. And if you're tithing, put tithe on this, so we make sure we put it in the proper place. But I'm believing God that everyone is sowing. It's got to be a return. It has to be, because he promised me. And he's never been slack on his promises. So everyone, I'm sharing it with you, everyone, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, you're sharing the page with someone else. You're hiding out. Come out from wherever you are. Mary Hartman. Come on, but join us as we get ready and are doing a great work, and we cannot come down. Come on. Let's do it together. And as you pray for us, pray for our community. Pray for us that as we unify together, and I believe that we will, to do this great work that some of them have already done. I need to make that very clear. Because somebody said, you don't think our pastors get together? I said, they are together. They don't think they're not. That as we all come together, that something great will take place, greater than what we can think or imagine. I'm believing God for that. And I pray you are too. So with your support, your prayers, thank you for that. And for you all to just stand with me, thank you for that. And as you're preparing to be able to come here in July for Prayer on the Mount, hello, somebody. Well, hello, people. You're going to make it up here for Prayer on the Mount. Get ready. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be an awesome move. And as we prepare to be in Stockbridge, Georgia, I think both of the night services are open in Stockbridge, Georgia, July the 29th and the 30th, which is Thursday night, Friday night, in Stockbridge, Georgia, at New Hope Cathedral. That's with Bishop Richard Mack. Okay, I messed it up. Richard Mack. That's his last name. I gotta get it together here. I start laughing. Woo. Oh God, Richard Leaphart Mack. Okay, now please come on out, get that in there. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be right down there outside of Atlanta, Stockbridge, Georgia. So it's gonna be something going on. That's the elevation for Ram with Bishop Richard Leaphart Mack, July the 29th and 30th. And but That prayer on the mountain is going to be hot up here in July. You don't want to miss it. So I want you to have a blessed day on purpose, and I thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing, and I pray all of you sow today. So, Father, I pray a prayer on every sower because you said there's something great is about to turn. For each one that sows, you said it is more than just a double portion of return. There's greater things that's in return for them. So, Lord, let them sow, God, that they may reap a bountiful blessing in this. Whenever you've said this to me, some great things have happened, God. And so, therefore, oh God, as they trust in what you're speaking, I thank you that they would sow. And then when they sow, God, the return is instantly as you move upon their children, upon their finances, their homes, in their buildings where they are, protecting them on the highway. They will see what you're doing immediately, oh God, through protection, through intervention on somebody's behalf in their family, through a sickness that would try to overtake somebody, but you will move instantaneously, oh God, through something that will happen on their job and they will see your hand immediately just because they gave on this day within their buildings, wherever they were looking for homes, and they'll see a breakthrough concerning a house. And God, even while they are waiting something to come through from the lawyer, they'll see something. Something will take place to let them know that you honored their gift on today. So God, because of that, I thank you, and I know that you're doing it in Jesus' name. Amen. So don't forget to get up, wash your face, brush your teeth, rinse your mouth out, comb your hair all the way out, and have a blessed day. And bye for now.